If I was to create something and put it out there and literally nobody came across it, or nobody felt how I feel about it, nobody could connect with me, I wouldn't feel good. But also, I wouldn't feel regretful for sharing my art. I would never feel regretful for standing in who I am and embracing that and not being afraid of experiencing the possibility of finding that soul audience or those soul connections, those people who can resonate with me, because you're not going to find those people unless you share. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, and here on my corner of the interwebs we talk about life, love, the pursuit of passion, the pursuit of purpose, and sometimes we do vloggy vlogs. And right now we're sitting on the floor and we're about to talk about a book. Because I did mention this book before. I was reading it and I recently finished it, and I was just like, it gave me a lot. It gave me a lot. There were things in this book that I really needed to hear, and I needed to hear them right when I heard them and right when I read them and received them. So I'm just like, if I needed to hear these words and receive these words, I'm pretty sure that somebody else may need to. So why not just do a video and just share 7 of my favorite quotes from The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Because listen, look at all these pages I tagged. Like, we have an abundance of pages and quotes to choose from. I was just like, we're just gonna pick 7. So out of like 84,000 that I tagged and want to be able to return back to, because one of my favorite things with books is like tagging a page that had some words that just really resonated with me, or like made me feel some type of way, some type of good way, some type of whatever way, like gave me some type of spark. Anything. Like, I like to tag them, so then I have these books on my bookshelf that have all these messages. So when I feel like I need a message and I'm not sure where it's meant to come from or what it's even meant to be, sometimes I'll just go to my bookshelf and I'll pick a book and I'll just go to one of the pages I tagged. This is a good one to have on my bookshelf that gives me that same thing, because I have all these pages tagged, all these words, everything that I just really needed to hear, both as a creative and as a human, as a creative human, because it is tailored to creatives, like people who are particularly involved in creating some form of art, but also just as a human. Like, even if you're not involved in a creative field or like doing some type of art form, if you are just a human out here like creating your life, there are words in here that will resonate. I even did a video on a section in here that I felt like it was meant to be geared towards creatives, but I took it and received it in both a way as a creative and as a human, just as a person. Like, I can receive this in both areas and aspects. There's a lot of sections like that in here. So we're just going to randomly just pick 7 of these little tabs just to kind of give you guys like an overview or like some type of idea of the type of words and the type of just like little gems that are in here that might give you something beneficial. And maybe you want to buy the book, maybe you don't. I don't care. But but whether you do or whether you don't, hopefully you receive something from this video that is valuable and that you can take away and do something with, something great with. It makes you feel good, whatever the case may be. Get your tea, get comfy. Again, we're on the floor today because I just wanted to be on the floor, because I want to be a little bit more cozy than sitting up on the chair. That may sound weird. How am I more cozy on the floor than on the chair? It's life. So let's get started. Again, all these pages that we have tagged, let's just pick one. This is low-key a long one. The goal is not to fit in. If anything, it's to amplify the differences, what doesn't fit, the special characteristics unique to how you see the world. Instead of sounding like others, value your own voice, develop it, cherish it. This one definitely hits because it's a reminder that like the goal is not to fit in. Exactly what he is saying. The goal is not to fit in. When you feel like you are a standout, or you feel like you may be an outcast amongst the people around you, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's good to be your own individual self. It's good to stand in your individuality. It's good to remain authentic, even when there is this pressure to adhere to the societal standards or the norms or what everyone else is doing, following trends. Like, even in that pressure and wanting to not seem like a weirdo or wanting to seem cool because you are doing what everyone else is doing and you're up on the latest and you know what to do to like fit in with everyone else and to connect with others in that way, it is so much better to stand in who you are and embrace that. If everyone stood in their uniqueness and just who they are as a person, whether it's in regards to their personality, their style, how they create art, if they create art, how they go about life, not being afraid to go against the grain, this world would be so much more interesting on so many more levels. Because it's not like the world isn't interesting the way that it is. There are still a lot of differences to be celebrated amongst everyone. But if everyone really did kind of go against that, I don't know what it is, like that herd mentality with a lot of aspects, I feel like we would gain a greater experience in regards to what we're meant to experience while we're here on this world and while we're here experiencing each other. Like, you would really get the full experience. Especially being an artist, when it comes to this specific quote, your art is meant to be a reflection of how you see the world. It's meant to be a reflection of your experiences and how you show up and what you want to express. It is a reflection of you. When you are creating art for others as opposed to for yourself and for like external results and outcomes, number one, it takes a lot of what is special about creating art out of the creation of art, because you're not allowing yourself to fully just express yourself through what you're creating. You're too busy worried about whether other people are going to like it, if other people are going to connect with it, who's going to buy it, who's going to pay attention to it, what the algorithm is going to do. Like, you're not giving yourself the chance to just create and express and put yourself out there authentically and just show yourself through what you have created and allow the people who truly just relate to that to come to you. Like, you find your true soul audience, your true soul connections from you just putting your true soul and your true self out into the atmosphere, out into the environment. When you are tailoring who you are and what you are expressing and what you are creating to appease others, you're going to be creating and forcing yourself to create something that does not connect with you constantly. And all that external validation and what comes from that is not going to fulfill you. Like, it's not going to give you the fulfillment still. Like, you'll still be searching for that. And inevitably, you'll just have to roll back around and start back and start expressing from a place of authenticity anyway. How did I grab a page that doesn't have a tag? Hello? Oh my God, I did it again. Hold on. This tag's like at the beginning. Oh, it's because some of them are on like the second page and I keep grabbing them from the back. Pause. Attuned choice by attuned choice. Your entire life is a form of self-expression. You exist as a creative being in a creative universe. A singular work of art. Everything that we do is art. And whether you are a creative or not, just being a human, you are a work of art. And what you do in your day-to-day, the things you acknowledge, the things that you cherish, the things that you value, the things that you pay attention to, those are all forms of art in their own ways. The beauty that you see, the beauty that you create and you share, whether you're cooking a meal, whether you're doing stretches, whether you're, I don't know why I thought of doing stretches, whether you are playing kickball, like, this is all art because it is life. Life is art. And I like that this is a reminder of that you are a piece of art in a world that is a piece of art. And everything that you do is literally creative expression because you are creating your life. And that is how you are going about creating in this world. Again, that is how you are expressing and showing up. Your expression and how you are showing up is a creation. And I just love the thought of that because it just makes everything feel so much more, I don't know, important. It makes it feel so much more important and also profound and beautiful, because sometimes we just kind of get caught up in the day-to-day and we're not really thinking of exactly how amazing it is to be here and to be us and to be this creation, this soul creation that has never been made before and will never be made again is you and I. Like, hello, you are a singular work of art that nobody else can copy. Nobody. As hard as they try, they can't do it. They can't do it. How I picked the same one? That was 2. I think we're on 3. Do what you can with what you have. Nothing more is needed. A reminder. And I had to draw a little heart next to that one. Because, yeah. At the end of the day, when you feel like you are missing certain things or you need certain things to go after dreams or to attain certain goals, like, there's always a workaround, babes. There's always a workaround. There's always a way to still get there with what you can and what you can do right now. Just do what you can with what you have right now. And as you keep on moving forward, you will get more. You will receive more. You'll have it. I love that reminder. Are we on 4? Okay. I was like, am I gonna pick the same quote? Am I gonna pick an empty page? What am I gonna do? Our calling is to make beautiful works to the best of our ability. Sometimes they will be applauded or rewarded, sometimes not. If we second guess our inner knowing to attempt to predict what others may like, our best work will never appear. And that goes back to that whole embracing your individuality and embracing your authentic self as opposed to trying to be like others. When you create, you're not creating for the validation of others or for other people to enjoy it. Yeah, we hope that other people enjoy it. We would love that because that's a part of the experience. When I create something and I put it out there, I want people who can resonate or people who will enjoy it to come and experience it. And I want to be able to connect with those people. But if I was to create something and put it out there and literally nobody came across it or nobody felt how I feel about it, nobody could connect with me, I wouldn't feel good. But also, I wouldn't feel regretful for sharing my art. I would never feel regretful for expressing myself, for standing in who I am and embracing that and not being afraid of putting that out there into the world and not being afraid of experiencing the possibility of finding that soul audience or those soul connections, those people who can resonate with me, because you're not going to find those people unless you share, unless you put yourself out there. So it's never a regret when you do it, and maybe if those people never came along, but at the same time when you do it, I can guarantee they're going to come along. They're going to come along. You know how big this world is? Like, there's always somebody out there who can connect on your level, who's feeling the way that you're feeling, who can say that they are going through the exact same things that you're going through. It may not look exactly the same, but it's definitely y'all on the same page. It's just different books, or you feel me? Like, what does quote say again? Our calling is to make beautiful works to the best of our ability. Sometimes they'll be applauded or rewarded and sometimes not, but don't second guess. That's what it is. Do not second guess your inner knowing with you attempting to predict what other people will like and what they want to see. Because forget what they like and what they want to see. This is about you. This is about you living your life to your greatest ability. Whether you are creating something or whether you are creating your life, this is about you picking the job field that you want to go into. This is about you traveling and doing the things that you want to do. It's not about you trying to predict like, oh, well, will so-and-so like this? Will they want to do this with me? Will they be upset if I do this? Like, you holding yourself back, trying to predict what others may or may not accept or like or see for you is not okay. And as this says, our best work will never appear. So when you're creating, your best work will never appear in that aspect. And when you're creating your life, you will not reach your best life when you're approaching it from that aspect either. I think that was 4 or 5. At this point, let's just say we're on 5, okay? And let's pick a new one. This is the call to self-express, our creative purpose. It's not necessarily to understand ourselves or be understood. We share our filter, our way of seeing, in order to spark an echo in others. Art is a reverberation of an impermanent life. You're not always sharing your art or sharing yourself with the world with the purpose of wanting other people to understand you and to receive it well and to agree with you. That's not always going to be the case. Again, this comes back to just that constant reminder of only prioritizing that internal validation. Do not prioritize the external validation at all, because first of all, you don't need to. Second of all, it's very unpredictable. If everything that you lean on and you depend on for your self-worth or to feel like your art is good or to feel like the way that you show up in this world is adequate is if other people are okay with it, once other people are not okay with it, what do you have? Like, you have nothing because you gave it all to everyone else. You put all that power into other people's hands. So this quote is a reminder that it's like you sharing yourself, expressing yourself, sharing your art and how you show up in this world. If you are not an artist, just how you are creating your life and what you're choosing to do with your life and your time here on this earth. It is not meant for you to do that in hopes that other people will agree with you. It is just meant for you to do that because you are meant to do that. Even if people do not agree with you, your stance and your presence and your authenticity may spark the authenticity and the stance and the presence of others. It may inspire others to show up as their authentic selves. It may inspire others to go in a completely different direction. They might see your hobbies. You might like skydiving and they like, no. You might have just sparked that that motion in someone that's like, all right, they just taught me something. I know I don't want to do that. I know that that's not my lane. I don't feel anything for that. Like, it could be that. Art is a reverberation of an impermanent life. And then the rest of it, as human beings, we come and go quickly. And we get to make works that stand as monuments to our time here. It's all about just creating and putting yourself out there and allowing the world to do with that as it pleases, as it will. Allowing your work to spark whatever it sparks. Hopefully it don't spark nothing crazy or bad for the world. Hopefully it just is a domino effect of positivity and beautiful things and whatnot. But either way, it's going to spark a domino effect. It's going to spark something in someone, no matter how little or how big. That is the purpose of it. Let's go to the next one. Was that 5? Me losing count after every one is crazy. I keep picking the same one. Let's go down. We're gonna go down at the bottom. Whatever insecurities we have can be reframed as a guiding force in our creativity. They only become a hindrance when they prevent our ability to share what's closest to our heart. Embracing your imperfections. Those things about yourself that you're not so confident in. Allowing yourself to highlight those things. To shed light on those things. In the process of you creating with those insecurities in mind, with the idea of like, I'm going to highlight this insecurity, this thing that I'm not so confident about. In that journey, you are forced to dig into that insecurity and that thing about yourself. Why do you feel that way about it? Why does it lessen your confidence? Why does it make you have a negative reaction? For example, with me, I can tell you my acne. My hormonal acne is literally something that I cry myself to sleep about often. I hate it down. I miss when my skin was clear and I don't know what's caused it. I've seen dermatologists, estheticians. I've done all the things. I don't need any advice. I've done all the things. And I've just reached a point where it's like, yeah, I'm still trying. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to get on the balanced hormones wave. I'm trying to see what that looks like for me, if it's possible without taking crazy like medications and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I've learned to kind of just either embrace it by sharing that with people, like not hiding it, not feeling like I need to hide it, but also doing things that help me to feel a little better about myself. Like, I don't always want to see it. Like, I don't always want to be like, oh, like, here's my skin. So that's me learning makeup, learning like what looks good for me, to help give me like those moments in a day or in an evening when I can go out and I don't see dark marks all across my cheeks and like my forehead and stuff like that. Like, just giving myself moments to kind of have that balance where I'm not inundated with this thing that annoys me, but also working on not being so annoyed about it. Like, it's irritating. I'm still working on it. But I can proudly say that I don't cry myself to sleep at night that much about it as much anymore. Like, in my luteal phase, yeah, like I'm crying about my skin constantly because I'm crying about everything. But on a regular day-to-day, the 1 to 2 weeks throughout the month where I am a normal human, because women's cycles are crazy and that's really what it is. It's like 1 to 2 weeks out the month. But the 1 to 2 weeks out of the month where I'm a normal human, I feel beautiful with or without makeup. I feel beautiful just embracing the imperfections. I know that I'm still doing what I can and what I need to do to try and figure it out. You know, I'm not just giving it up. I'm not just giving up and like just letting it be what it is. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's just that while I'm trying to figure it out on this journey, I'm being gentle with myself about it. So that's one thing that as a human, I am embracing my imperfections. And also as an artist, I mention it. Like, I talk about it on vlogs. Like, I share that. I'm gonna start maybe sharing more of my makeup journey. I don't really know if I want to yet, but I've mentioned it a little bit, so we'll see. Like, if I just feel inspired one day and I kind of want to like make that content and maybe share that with my peoples on here, that'd be great. But that's just an example of, like, everybody has things that make them feel less secure in themselves, whether it is like physical or it is personality wise, it is things about their lifestyles, whatever the case may be. Especially in this social media age, there's so many things. Like, when you're seeing people's highlight reels and you're comparing it to your behind the scenes, that's what we've talked about before, sometimes you feel insecure about stuff, and everybody has it. It's just that not everybody focuses on that, or not everybody shares that. But there's always something. There's always something beneath the surface, and that's not me being negative and pessimistic about people and how they're really feeling, like, oh, everybody's actually unhappy. Like, that's not me feeling like that. It's just me saying that there are more people than you think that feel the exact same way you do about something, because that's Sonder. We're all living a detailed experience in this life and in this world. Everybody's living a detailed life, and I'm gonna put the definition of Sonder on the screen. Yeah. Let's go to the top. I have a couple highlighted on this page. We are seeking not to define ourselves, but to expand ourselves, to tune into our limitless nature and connection to all that is. I like that, because the mission is not, again, the mission is not to define yourself. It's not to put yourself in a box. It's not to find who you are and just stick with one thing. It's to expand. It's to constantly evolve. It's to experience many different things and many different places and activities and ways to go about life and what you want to do, and determine what is best for you. And if all of it is best for you, just doing everything, expanding. Like, it's all about that. Tuning into our limitless nature and connection to all that is. Limitless nature. Limitless nature. The only limits that we have are the ones that we place on ourselves, period. And when you remember that and you always stay tuned into that, I feel like you feel so much better about everything. Because even those goals that feel so far-fetched and feel so far away from you, this reminds you that they're in reach, because you can see them, and because you want them, and because you can feel them. They are always in reach. It's just gonna take some time. There's just time and actions in between that, but it's gonna happen. There are no limits. You can surpass it all. Okay, love it. Hopefully this was quick. I really just wanted to do this quick little just sit down chit chat. Ouch. This quick little sit down chit chat just to show love to this work, this project, because it really did help me. I really did read it at a great time, and I'm just so happy to add it to my bookshelf. And if you guys love reading and you love works like this that can give you some soul food in snacky portions, then this is a good read for you, for sure. But if you don't want to buy any books and you just want to hear me talk about them, I'm sure I'm gonna be reading something else that's gonna make me feel some type of way, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I gotta talk to my people about that. Like, I gotta talk about that on the channel. So you'll get some more videos like this from me, just a little chill little situation. But I do hope that you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me to do. And if you enjoyed this video though, make sure that you thumbs up, and make sure that you leave a comment if you enjoyed any of those quotes, any of your thoughts on the quotes, any of your thoughts on the book, any of your thoughts on anything that I said. I would love to hear it. I would love to talk to you, or you can just say hi, whatever you want to do. I'll say hi back, you know me. And also, if you love it here, please feel free to subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe, but only if you love it here. I only want people who love it here. Make yourself at home. I would love for you to do so. And of course, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.